The first part of this video series on language features looked at what similes, metaphors, and personification actually are. This video looks at the effects of them. So in all of these, you're making a comparison. They're describing something, a person, a place, a thing, or an action. But instead of stating what they're like or what they're doing straight up, a comparison is being made. So instead of saying he was moving so slowly, packing up his bag, I could say he was a snail. And you can just imagine, you can figure out what kind of pace he's working at. The effect of this is a reader gets a specific picture of what's being described. So he pounced on me gives you a different picture than he walked into me, or he looked at me, or he walked up to me. You can really feel that sense of urgency or taking them by surprise. So what is happening is complex ideas are communicated more easily because an image is starting to form in the reader's mind. And the readers also are more interested because they get to figure out the ideas for themselves. We're not just spoon-fed the information about their behavior or their actions or their emotions. Now, when you are analyzing language features, you should describe the specific picture or understanding that you're getting from it. So you don't just say, oh, it painted a picture in my mind. You would say, it painted a picture of, or it helped me understand, and then tell me what you understood, that he was angry, or that he was scared, or that he felt judged. Here's another thing to do with similes and metaphors, and it's something called an extended metaphor. This is when an author repeats the same comparison multiple times in their writing, and they might use both metaphors and similes in the comparison. Has the same effect as a single metaphor or simile. It's explaining something complex by making a comparison to something that's easier to understand or that you can picture in your mind. But because they're extending or stretching out that metaphor, that comparison, they can build a fuller picture of the point they're trying to make. Here's some more examples from Wete Ihemāra in Big Brother, Little Sister. He constantly compares Janie, the little sister, to a bird. As she passed under a streetlight, her shadow reached out like a bird's wing to ripple along the fence palings. Later on in the story, a car slashed her with light as she fluttered into her brother's arms. And then again, this is paragraphs later, Hema had been asleep when Janie began to peck at his dreams. So you can see there's a simile, like a bird's wing, and then she fluttered, that's a metaphor, pretending she's a bird. And again, a metaphor, Janie began to peck at his dreams, because again, he's describing her as if she is a bird. In this particular story, what we're getting is that Janie is quite vulnerable, that she's not safe, that she's fragile. So just like a bird could be easily hurt, so Janie could be. And later on in the story, there's even another simile where it describes Janie like a bird in a cage. And it shows that she's trapped, that she can't get out of the situation that she's in. Just like a bird trapped in a cage, can't do anything about where they're at. So that covers those language features, and hopefully you now have the skills that you need to either write your own similes, metaphors, and personification, or identify and analyze them in other people's writings. All the best.